Hi everyone, welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
And we're on day 2 of our story article, Animal Farm. Yesterday we learned the animals on Manor Farm were treated badly by Mr. Jones, the cruel farmer.
But an old pig, Major, told them animals could live in a world where all animals were equal and humans didn't exploit them.
The animals wanted this and drove Mr. Jones away.
So a full rebellion broke out and the animals chased off Mr. Jones and all the farmhands.
The people rose up and got rid of their nasty, cruel leaders. Does sound a bit familiar. They begin to run Manor Farm themselves, but who's in charge?
Major. But Major has died.
Yes.
So there are 2 pigs, Snowball and Napoleon, are now in charge.
Let's see how they get on at being equal and running this farm in day 2 of our article.
Reading.
Animal Farm. The pigs implement a new system, Animalism. They come up with the commandments of animalism. These state that no animal shall wear clothes, sleep in a bed, drink alcohol, or kill another animal. Most importantly, all people are enemies. All animals are friends, and all animals are equal. The sheep and horses, many of whom are not as intelligent as the pigs, sum animalism up this way: 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. However, Benjamin, an old donkey, doesn't think life will get any better than it was under Mr. Jones. The animals work hard, especially Boxer, a strong horse. Animal Farm's first harvest is successful. However, later, there's less food, and the pigs keep the best food for themselves. Napoleon and Snowball often have conflicts. Snowball wants to build a windmill so the farm can have electric power, and everyone's work will be easier. Napoleon doesn't agree with the idea. Secretly, Napoleon trains dogs to obey him. He commands the vicious dogs to chase Snowball off Animal Farm, and Napoleon seizes power. Napoleon now blames anything that goes wrong on Snowball. The animals are puzzled, but Squealer, another pig, convinces them that Napoleon is always right.
So, the pigs are setting up their own farm, their own country, and they need a new kind of idea to give everybody a kind of goal. We see the pigs implement a new system, Animalism.
Implement 这个动词很重要哦，代表是实施或是实行，所以呢后面可以加上新的制度，那就是 implement a new system， 实行一项新制度。这个新制度是动物主义 animalism。
Now this does sound again like history. The people have got rid of their leaders, the rulers, the kings, the emperors. Now let's start this system and give it a name where we're all equal. It does sound a bit familiar. They come up with the commandments of animalism.
Commandment 代表是戒律，那这边指的就是动物主义之下你所需要遵守的规范 ，like the rules they have to follow.
Exactly. So, what are some of these commandments? The article says, these, the commandments, state that no animal shall wear clothes, sleep in a bed, drink alcohol, or kill another animal. Remember all 4 of those. We will come back to them. One thing to say, these are the things that Mr. Jones did a lot.
OK， 所以不能穿衣服，不能睡床
Yep.
还有不能喝酒
Right, and no killing.
然后不能杀生 OK, so they can't drink alcohol. Alcohol 指的就是酒
Right. And we've got one more. Most importantly, the article says, all people are enemies, all animals are friends, and all animals are equal.
OK, equal 这个形容词，我们一直在说的就是平等的。好，所以人们是 enemies， 是敌人。那所有的动物都是朋友，而且所有的动物都是平等的。
Right, okay, but I mean, that's a lot of words. That's a lot of things to remember and figure out. So we see in the article the sheep and horses, many of whom are not as intelligent as the pigs, sum animalism up this way. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
4条腿的是好的，2条腿都是坏的。
Yeah, well, I mean, what about the chickens then? I mean, this is kind of, they've made it too simple,
Right.
really. They're kind of getting away from the good parts of the commandments. Sometimes when you make things too simple, that doesn't help. We'll talk about some words in this sentence in a moment, but first we're going to look at today's language in focus.
今天的 language in focus 要讲到量词或是数词加上冠带的用法。怎么说呢？量词跟数词有像是 one, part, some, many, most, both, all 或是 none 好这些字加上 of 之后呢，加上 which 或是 whom， 再接上一般动词或是 be 动词。那在这个句型当中的which 跟 whom 是非限定用法的关系代名词哦，用来代指位于逗点之前作为先行词的名词或是名词片语。那其前方呢，可以用量词，像是我刚刚讲的那些字，或是数词等来修饰先行词。那第二个重点就是关系代名词本身就兼具连接词跟代名词的功能，所以跟前面的主要子句之间，你就不需要再加上连接词 and 了。好，那给同学们一个例句哦。For example, the park is filled with people today, many of whom are with their dogs. 公园今天挤满了人，那很多都是带着狗一起的。那如果你不想要用冠带，那没有关系，你就把 and 放回去。不过句子会变成 The park is filled with people today, and many of them are with their dogs.
So Elsie just mentioned the word intelligent, which means smart, clever, able to understand things, think of answers to problems, that sort of stuff. So our example sentence is about animals too. Dolphins, pigs, and monkeys are all intelligent animals, and so are crows.
Intelligent 好是形容词，代表呢有智慧的或是很聪明的。那它的名词是 intelligence，代表就是智能或是智慧。所以现在很红的 AI 人工智慧，那个 A 呀代表 artificial 人工的，那 I 就是 intelligence 智能智慧。
So already we've kind of got this pigs are smart, horses and sheep aren't so smart, so that doesn't sound that equal in terms of how smart they are. But let's move on. These less intelligent animals look at all of those commandments and rules and they go, let's make it simple. Let's sum it up. To sum something up means to give a summary, a short version. You take something longer and you kind of get it so that the main ideas are presented and phrased in a short, simple, easy to understand way. Like if you gave a talk in class, at the end of your talk, you would sum it up and give the main points.
是的，也就是总结，然后用比较简单的方式去概述一遍。
Okay, so that seems to work, but not everybody is a complete believer in animalism. We see, however, Benjamin, an old donkey, doesn't think life will get any better than it was under Mr. Jones. He thinks, you've given it a new name, a new system, but we're still going to have to work. We're still going to have to work hard. Somebody's going to make the decisions and the other people will follow them. Sounds just the same to me. That's what the donkey says. A donkey is an animal that's a bit like a horse, but it's smaller, weaker, slower. It's used for kind of different jobs. The kind of jobs when you need stuff moved slowly. That's a kind of donkey's job. And of course, they make the ee-haw kind of sound. In the UK, here's our example sentence. In the UK, it was a tradition for kids to ride donkeys on beaches for fun.
Wow.
I certainly did that as a kid.
Interesting. 那如果呢是一只 horse 马加上 donkey 驴子，会出来的是 mule.
Right.
M-U-L-E. 那这个是骡子。
And mules can't have children.
Right.
There you go. So, what happens next in the story? We see the animals work hard, especially Boxer, a strong horse. So, yes, the animals work hard. Is it worth it? We see in the article, Animal Farm's first harvest is successful. Okay, things are working well. They had a good harvest. What do we mean by harvest? Let's find out. So a harvest is when foods, particularly grains like corn and rice, or fruit and vegetables, are all collected at the same time at the right time of year when you go, aha, these are ready. Let's kind of take them out of the ground, off the trees, and then we can do stuff with them. That's the harvest, to kind of collect it all from the fields and the trees and so on. We can use the word as a verb too, to harvest the corn, to harvest the apples, which is the action of collecting the harvest. Here's an example sentence for a noun. People prayed to the gods for a good harvest.
Harvest 是收成，好，这边当名词用，所以你要搭配动词，表示有好收成的话，可以用 have a good harvest. So the first year's harvest is successful.
Yeah, all seems to be going well, but it doesn't last. The article says, however, later there's less food and the pigs keep the best food for themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, so again, this is not equal. The pigs, well, we're smarter. We need the best food. Huh? What happened to that everybody gets the same treatment idea? That seems to have disappeared as soon as things start to run short. And that is not the only problem. We see in the article, Napoleon and Snowball often have conflicts. A conflict is an argument. It's a disagreement. Two people are saying, we should do this. No, we have to do it this way. That's not going to work. We have to do it this way. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're stupid. You're stupid. That is a conflict. So here's an example. There are often conflicts between different departments of this company as each one wants more money to spend.
Conflict 代表就是冲突，哈，是个名词。那如果造成冲突、导致冲突的话，我们可以用 cause 这个字 ，cause conflict。那如果要去避免它 ，avoid conflict。那如果是 conflict between A and B， 那就是 A、B 之间所产生的冲突。So here, Snowball and Napoleon have conflicts.
Exactly. Where have we heard that before? The peasants, the people have rose up and got rid of the leaders, and suddenly two of the leaders of this new world are fighting and arguing.
They're turning into Mr. Jones.
Yes,
Probably start to corrupt.
yeah. Does it sound like a big country not far from here, where after the emperor was gone, there were two big armies and they had different ideas and they had a war? Think about it. So, why are they in conflict? We see Snowball wants to build a windmill so the farm can have electric power and everyone's work will be easier. That sounds good.
Sounds good, yeah. Windmill 代表是风车跟风力发电机. So that's Snowball's idea.
Yep.
So I guess Napoleon says no.
Exactly. We see Napoleon doesn't agree with the idea. Now, we don't say why here. You can read the book to find out more. But this isn't the only thing Napoleon does. We see secretly Napoleon trains dogs to obey him. So there are some puppies that are born. He kind of brings them up, gives them food, and now they are his dogs.
Oh, he's turning into an emperor.
A ruler with his own soldiers to
Yes.
do what he wants and get rid of the people who disagree. We see that's exactly what happens. He commands the vicious dogs to chase Snowball off Animal Farm, and Napoleon seizes power.
Wow, 那 vicious 这个形容词，形容的就是凶狠的、恶毒的，那也可以说是 violent，或是我们之前学的 cruel。那这里呢 ，a vicious killer 在说的就是一个狠毒的杀手。
Yeah, they're going to use a lot of violence to do what they need to do. So we saw Napoleon seizes power. What does this word mean? Let's find out. So to seize means to take by force. If there's something trying to stop you, you just kind of smash it down, take it out of the way. grab it and it's all mine. Now, this could be done by actual physical kind of force, like the thief seized the woman's bag and ran away. He just grabbed it and pulled it hard. Seized power means you kind of take control over something. You push out all the enemies, you chase them away, and you say, I'm the boss now. For example, the army seized power in the country by taking over the government buildings.
Seize 这个动词呢，指的是抓住，那它可以抓住有形的东西，像是手啦、手臂啦，或是无形的。Seize power 那就是抓住权力。那这里还有一个补充给同学是 seize a chance or an opportunity，那就是抓住机会。
So Napoleon is now the boss. He is in charge. He is not equal. But let's go on. Napoleon now blames anything that goes wrong on Snowball. So to blame something on someone is to say that something is someone else's fault. It's not me, it's them. Bad weather? That's Snowball's fault. Rats ate the food? Snowball's fault. The wall fell down? Snowball did that.
Poor Snowball， 他把所有的事情责任都怪罪在 Snowball 的头上。
Right, and as you might imagine, the animals are puzzled. But Squealer, another pig, convinces them that Napoleon is always right.
哇，那这边看到形容词 puzzled 就是很 confused，对，没有办法弄清楚为什么会这样。
Yeah, so again, the sheep, the horses, the other animals, they're going, Snowball really did all this? Are you sure? But Squealer's like, no, it was definitely Snowball. I saw him. And he convinces them. To convince is to persuade someone. You use words to make somebody do what you want or believe what you say and to do the things you want them to do. For example, Johnny convinced his parents to let him go on a trip to Taichung with his high school friends.
Convince somebody to do something， 那就是说服某人去做某事。你也可以用到的是 convince somebody that 之后再加上子句。那如果呢一个人他的说的事情是非常有具说服力的，你可以用 convincing 来形容，那就是形容词具说服力的。
Okay, so we've gone from this all animals are equal and we're having a good harvest to one pig is the boss and in command.
Napoleon.
The pigs get all the good food. Everything that goes wrong, it's not my fault. Snowball did it. The guy we kicked off the farm with my vicious dogs who are my soldiers. Don't believe me? Listen to Squealer, my kind of like my newspaper who tells everybody this is what to think. This is what you should do.
But what about the rest of the animals?
Well, some of them aren't quite so smart, so they just, oh, believe it, you know. They're sheep. They're sheep. Bah, bah, yes, whatever you say. It's kind of the idea with sheep, right?
They just follow.
Yeah, and Benjamin, the donkey's like, it's going to be just as bad. Nobody believes him. He's so negative. Things are going pretty badly. Are they going to improve on day 3? We'll find out tomorrow, but first let's go to our For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So today we saw that Napoleon and Snowball had different ideas about what to do. So our chat question is, what do leaders usually have conflicts about? How can they solve them?
They usually have conflicts about what is the best for their group, organization, or even country.
Yep.
So how can they solve them? They have to sit down, talk to each other, listen to each other's needs and perspectives before deciding anything.
Oh, it'd be lovely if it actually worked like that. But more likely what they'll do is they will...
Start arguing.
Yeah, start arguing. Nothing will get done. And when it's time for an election, they'll blame the fact that nothing could get done on the other party and say, you've got to vote for us more. So then nobody can stop us doing the things we want to do to help you.
Just like Napoleon does to Snowball.
Except that there's no voting on Animal Farm because it's like, I'm in charge, you don't like it, talk to my vicious dogs. So that's how he solves it. Violence, fear, and lies. I wonder where have I heard stuff like that before? How can they solve them in other ways? Sometimes there's war.
Wars.
That's unfortunately when humans can't think of anything else to do, we just kill hundreds and thousands of each other.
They fight, they kill.
Pretty terrible, and that's how they shouldn't solve them, but that's how they often do solve them. I'm feeling quite sad about this. The story does bring out that part of me. But join us again tomorrow to see if we do in fact get a happy ending. Bye for now.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Intelligent. My little sister is very intelligent and always gets good grades in school. Donkey. The old man relied on his donkey to carry his things to the market every day. Harvest. The farmer's harvest was very big this year, thanks to all the recent rain. Conflict. Sometimes my sister and I have conflicts over toys. However, we usually share and play together in the end. Seize. The army was able to seize control of the city after a long and difficult battle. Convince. My friend wanted to stay inside, but I was able to convince her that we should go to the park.
智慧小补帖
Implement. Commandment. Alcohol. Windmill. Vicious.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net